force attackers to spend time either taking them apart or repositioning to another attack angle. Either way, they are losing precious time. Time Denari can use to 3-speed his way around the map, making sneaky shotgun slug holes and helping secure a win for the defenders. And that's not all for Operation High Stakes, no sir. Modernized map rollout continues with Lair, Night Haven Labs, and Consulate, so enjoy their upgraded looks and keep an eye out for new gas pipes and fire extinguishers on these maps. A new neutral zone assignment called Carrie's Safe Room has arrived in Dual Front, along with a new rotation of operators. Raura's Reaper Mark II sidearm will now be available for Sledge, Oryx, Rook, Pulse, and Ying. And if you have found yourself in the magnified scopes of a defender a bit more often than you'd like, you'll be happy to know that Doc, Rook, Frost, Echo, Castle, Tachanka, and Goyo will have those magnified attachments removed from their arsenals. There's a lot more to learn on the official Rainbow Six Siege website, including a Wamai buff, a Blackbeard and Fenrir nerf, anti-cheat and anti-toxicity updates, and more. Follow this channel for the latest Siege updates, and hey, don't step on any lasers today. You're welcome.
Ready to sabotage the prototype. How long until the disruption code is no good?
Under a minute. We do this, the Carrie's Legion can't produce more custom explosives.
Did you hear that, Denari?
We need that code.
I heard it. I'm on it.
Dù là đi làm hàng ngày hay một chuyến du lịch ngắn, mỗi hành trình đều xứng đáng có một bản nhạc hoàn hảo. Với Spotify Premium, bạn có thể nào theo bất kỳ thứ tự nào không bị gián đoạn. Tận hưởng 3 tháng sử dụng với giá 3.000. Hủy bất cứ lúc nào, những có banner để tìm theo.
Now or never. Good luck, mi amigo.
Surveillance indicates more hostiles inbound. We need you Oscar Mike to Denari's location ASAP.
Quite the show! But it's time to go now. Oh, my.
Still work to do, mio fratello.
Hello, and on behalf of the entire Siege team, welcome to Operation High Stakes. If you're new to the game and joined us last season, or a veteran, millions of you showed up to check out this amazing experience. And we're building on top of that now. Not only do we have a new operator, a new gadget, and a new weapon, but we have updates, changes, and much, much more to show you. Now, we're going to introduce the next operator joining Rainbow Six Siege. Please welcome him in the anime short.
Ready to sabotage the prototype. How long until the disruption code is no good?
Under a minute. If we do this, the Carrie's Legion can't produce more custom explosives.
Did you hear that, Denari?
We need that code.
I heard it. I'm on it.
Now or never. Good luck, mi amigo.
Hello, and on behalf of the...
Surveillance indicates more hostiles inbound. We need you Oscar Mike to Denari's location ASAP.
Quite the show! But it's time to go now. Oh, my.
Still work to do, mio fratello.
What you just witnessed in that anime is in fact the second assignment that you'll be able to experience yourself in Dual Front when Season 3 launches. Players will be tasked to take control of a carry safe room in the central of the neutral sector. Using a breaching payload that Dokkaebi gave us, thanks to the fact that we rescued her last season, that you need to activate in a hub computer in the center of the room and wreak havoc by downloading all their information and really figuring out how to stop them once and for all. But warning, when you do this, indestructible walls will close off the doorways you use to get into the room. So what does that mean? Anyone who's inside can no longer get out, and anyone who's outside can no longer get in. Now, this is Siege. There are more ways to get into a room than through the doorway. So think creatively on how to regain control of that safe room. And to all those bringing those out-of-box strategies that we're seeing in Dual Front with the combinations of our attackers and defenders, thanks for joining in. And we'll be continuing to evolve this mode over time. We'll be adjusting key game settings, bringing more operators to the mode, and of course balancing, as well as looking into making the mode more rewarding overall. So again, thank you for joining in.
Pick a gun. Any gun.
squad meeting underway in briefing room 4.
Brace yourselves, Alpha Team. This is Dual Front. Your primary objective is to neutralize Op4's base. But first, you'll need to clear a path. Gain access to hostile zones. Plant a sabotage kit and protect it until the timer runs out to permanently secure enemy sectors. Intel shows that Op4 has a similar plan, so be sure to also guard our base. Remember, sectors will eventually destabilize, making both sides increasingly easier to capture. For this mission, operator restrictions have been lifted. Unit sizes have been increased to 6, and operators are cleared for redeployment in the event of casualties, or for tactical adjustments. This is a live combat zone, so be prepared for secondary assignments in the neutral sector. Assignments will provide powerful assets that can shift the tide of battle. Complete them whenever possible. Dual Front will be unlike any challenge you've faced before, so be ready for anything. Stand strong. Stand together. We're counting on you, Alpha Team.
有麦吗？有麦吗？
有的，老弟。
Drone has located a bomb. Ten seconds.
有蓝鬼。
5 seconds to insertion. You've located a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
《厕所里面蹲了2个，一个黑镜，一个流星。流星现在在楼梯上。前面右边那白厕所里面有一个黑镜。
Cover the diffuser. One friendly operator remaining.
Shit.
We have been eliminated.
被抓排名了呀！我操！
Op located a bomb. 10 seconds before insertion. 5 seconds to go. You've located a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it. The diffuser is no longer in your possession. The diffuser has been secured.
Inserting code.
Yeah.
You must recover the diffuser.
Cluster charge live! Cluster charge activated.
Activity. Grenade.
我操，不好意思，不好意思。
Time for a wake-up call.
Friendly, last operator standing. All friendlies have been eliminated. We need to locate a bomb. Your drone has found a bomb.
Yeah.
10 seconds. 5 seconds before insertion. You found a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
个人2个人。
Loaded knife.
Placing plus loading magazine!
I'm going down.
Detonated from discharge. Fire in the hole!
Protected at all costs. One op 4 remaining. Friendly, last operator standing. Hostile bomb defused. Mission successful. Protect the bombs. Be advised, a bomb location has been compromised.
Device prime, denial. EDD prime. Stand clear.
Evil eye.
ED mounted. Let it come.
Reload.
Down to 10 seconds. Down to 5 seconds.
Alarm in place.
Op 4 has located a bomb.
Changing meds.
These will protect us.
One op 4 remaining.
Reloading! Cover me!
Show ball 掉包了。
Magic going out. I will watch over us. Magnet activated. This will protect us.
Down to 15 seconds.
Perimeter defense online.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds left. Friendly's victorious. Hostiles eliminated. Secure the bombs. Op 4 located a bomb. Plan your defenses accordingly.
Device placed. All reinforced!
Deploying jammer.
Device positioned.
10 seconds. 5 seconds left. Located a bomb. Get ready to engage.
Device placed.
Activating jammer.
Reloading mag.
Jammer ready.
Hell.
Reloading!
Friendly, last operator standing. All friendlies were eliminated. Mission failure.
我操，3个人倒一起。我一开始打到闪哥的。
Secure the bombs.
Deploying shield.
Op 4 has located a bomb. Be ready for assault.
Welcome back.
Remaining. 5 seconds left. Op 4 has located a bomb.
Laying out the welcome mat.
Someone exposed you. Your location has been.
哇，这枪盾太畜生了。
Oh, shit.
Friendly, last operator standing.
Yeah.
All friendlies were eliminated. Mission failure.
galaxy, there are two options: survive or die. I came here alone, before the others. I harvested the resources I needed to carve out a life, to craft a future, to endure the unknown. The journey was long. I explored new frontiers, discovered new planets, and new threats. But you cannot survive alone. So together, we built anew. Our talents are deep. The technology at our disposal evolves, but with expansion comes conflict. And the cost of failure is catastrophic. We chose our path. We build together. We fight together. We survive together. The journey was long. The journey continues.
서울서
an toàn và thư thái trọn vẹn. Ariston OS định dụng âm y nâng tầm trải nghiệm.
Technology at our disposal evolves, but with expansion comes conflict. And the cost of failure is catastrophic.
Every millisecond counts. Less latency, lag, packet loss, no disconnects, to more win. Experience the future of gaming with the world's first AI-powered game optimization platform. Head to exitlag.com and download now.
Empyreon. Out now for PC on Steam. In an infinite galaxy, there are two options. Survive or die. I came here alone, before the others. I harvested the resources I needed to carve out a life, to craft a future, to endure the unknown. The journey was long. I explored new frontiers, discovered new planets, and new threats. But you cannot survive alone, so together we built anew. Our talents are deep. The technology at our disposal evolves, but with expansion comes conflict. And the cost of failure is catastrophic. We chose our path. We build together. together. We fight together. We survive together. The journey is long. The journey continues. Empyrean. Out now for PC on Steam.
Gentlemen, and welcome back to Imperial Galactic Survival Reforged Eden. First of all, what the hell is Reforged Eden? Well, there's a video that I have done before that explains what is Reforged Eden, but suffice to say, it is probably the most popular scenario on the Steam Workshop for Imperial Galactic Survival. Now, it is an amalgamation of two scenarios, Project Eden and Reforged Galaxy. Two creators, Vermilion and Revian, decided to put their scenarios together to create Reforged Eden. There we go. Going forward, Project Eden is likely to stop being an individual scenario, while Revian focuses more on Reforged Eden. Meanwhile, Vermilion has given me, thank you very much Vermilion by the way, given me early access to a early version of Reforged Galaxy 2. Now, there are a number of caveats for me showing you this stuff. This is incredibly work in progress, and a lot of the effects, sound effects, animations, whatever, and a lot of other things just aren't there yet. So mostly what I'm going to show you today are things like new models for weapons and stuff that are coming in Reforged Galaxy 2.0, which is going to be coming out sometime middle of next year, I think, 2023 next year, not 2024 if you're watching this just after New Year's. What you're seeing in front of me right now, for example, is the new base shield visualization. You actually get a shield bubble now around bases. Very faint in this light, unfortunately, but hopefully you can just about make it out. But for example, there's no effects if I was to shoot this bubble. Nothing would happen yet. So yeah, okay, we can look at that. It looks cool. I like it, and I think that on top of POIs is going to look awesome. And hopefully we're going to be able to get it for our bases too, and that will look pretty sweet as well. But just one of the little things that are coming to bases, for example. But over here, what I've done is I've arranged all of the blocks, all of the new weapons and stuff. Actually, tell a lie, not all of them, just the main ones. Okay, there's a lot, and there's ones for every structure type. So what you're seeing in front of us today are
you need to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself if you're being bold enough. If you search your soul, I think you're going to find out that you're not.
So much of what you learn at CIA is applicable to everyday
CV ones. And then the little things behind are the SV ones. So we'll go through those in a minute. But just to give you a sort of flavour of the level of reach.
Welcome, Galactic Survivalists. I'm Ida, and I'll be your guide to the most exciting new features in Update 1.12. We start in the Phoenix system. You will not only find the new building designs and NPCs of the UCH faction, but also the corresponding 5-step story mission. If you would rather prove your skills on the test track of the newly opened Hecaton race, fly directly to Archenia, the home system of the Archenian Republic. Lost hit points on hull blocks and devices on your ship can now be repaired on the way with the field repair console. Installing the new shield extenders can help you to avoid this in the first place. To be on the safe side, you can use the new energy barriers to fend off enemies inside your ship. And the new jet engines for capital ships, with their boost function, give you the extra push you need in space combat. With Update 1.12, you can again exceed the reduced maximum speed of your vehicle, albeit with reduced acceleration. If you decide to part with your old ship, you can hand it over directly to another player using the new transfer function. By the way, you can now also give feedback directly from the game. Simply open the Send Us Your Feedback option in your PDA and fill out the questionnaire. You can find details on these and all the other content via the link in the video description. We thank you in advance for your feedback. We hope you enjoy Update 1.12. Welcome, Galactic Survivalists. I am Ida, and today we will have a quick look at the new freeze and board gameplay of the Dark Faction DLC. There are 3 types of turrets the Dark Faction uses: the Siege Cannon, the Disruptor Cannon, and the Translocator Turret. While the Siege Turret keeps its role as an artillery weapon, the Disruptor and Translocator turrets have new functionality. Disruptor turrets do no direct damage to your vessels anymore. Instead, every time the hit indicator on the left side lights up, it will slow down your vessel a bit more. You can witness the degree of immobilization on the orange bar next to it. If the bar reaches 100%, it will turn red, and your vessel will be locked in place. The bar will then start to tick down to 0, at which point you will immediately regain your mobility. Immobilized capital vessels will be targeted by the translocator turrets. These will send over a boarding party of dark faction creatures. You either need to hunt them down to avoid the roaming creatures from damaging your vessel, or wait until the boarding timer ticks down and they disappear. More info can be found in the FAQ on the forums. We wish you lots of fun and look forward to your feedback.
Welcome Galactic Survivalists to the summer update in game version 1.10. Here you can already see one of the feature updates. You can now use the new hoverbike. It replaces the old motorbike, but offers significantly more driving fun. With the drone bay, it is now possible to use your own AI drones to defend your ships and bases. The drones automatically launch when a threat appears and will independently attack the aggressors. From now on, both water and lava blocks, along with their respective effects, are available for our creative dungeon and station builders. In addition to these elemental blocks, 23 new block shapes have been added together with the new Blueprint Collection toolset feature. Videos with detailed information about the toolset and how it helps to realize ambitious projects even faster are available in the video description. For co-op and multiplayer, you can now individually adjust access to any device within your player faction. Several roles are available to the faction admin to set permissions according to the new member ranks. An important gameplay note. As of now, mass and volume limitations are enabled for new game starts by default. The same applies to CPU and block limits. In order to better interconnect the Blueprint Factory and Tech Tree in gameplay, you must now have unlocked all devices of a blueprint in the Tech Tree. You can change all mentioned options in the difficulty settings when you start a new game. With the new tessellation feature, the formerly flat ground textures offer more literal depth and a higher degree of detail. The strength of the tessellation can of course be adjusted individually in the options menu. Not only has the ocean planet been spiced up, but various suns have also been enhanced in their views and looks. For all explorers out there, the summer update added more and greater variety of content both on the starter playfields and in the galaxy. For instance, on Masper and Ningas and Skillen, you will no longer fall from the sky in the normal escape pod. Additionally, each starting playfield now contains its own 5-part local story mission. The missions include smaller hints to the main mission and shed light on some lore backgrounds. After leaving the starter playfields and while exploring the galaxy, you will find the newly created home systems of numerous player-submitted factions. For example, the Trisari, the Ravagers, the Wastelanders, the Karana, and many others. With the summer update, you can explore over 300 new and revised structures and spaceships. If combat can't be avoided, the new combat soundtrack will accompany you during the fight. Further information on the full scope of the summer update and game version 1.10 are available in our forum and our Discord. As always, you can find all links in the video description. What do you think of the changes? Tell us your opinion and definitely drop by the forum and Discord. We are looking forward to your feedback. Until then, we wish you lots of fun with Empyrean Galactic Survival version 1.10. galactic survivalists. I'm Ida. Today I will show you some of the important new features in Update 1.9.10. For all players who are new to Empyrean Galactic Survival, we have added a dedicated tutorial scenario. It can be accessed directly from the main menu. A second important innovation is the use of object culling technology to further optimize frames per second. This hides all NPC and equipment models within a building that a player could not see from his position anyways. On the other hand, we have added a helpful new HUD element for both first-person and ship combat. A radial damage indicator now shows you the exact direction from which you are being attacked. If you expose yourself to danger outside of a fight, the improved damage indicators for temperature, radiation, and poisoning will now show you the danger more clearly. The animations of your avatar have also been revised. Jumping, falling, running, and crouching now look much more natural. If you need to move quickly in the midst of all the action, new hotkeys for the customizable signal and devices controls are now available both for your vessels and bases. As always, you can find more information about these and numerous other improvements in the full changelog that we have linked below this video. We hope that you will like the update and we are looking forward to your feedback. Survivalists? I am Ida. I will guide you through the most important changes of Update 1.9. One of them you can see here. AI factions can now fight other AI factions directly when they meet in a playfield. For version 1.9, new variants for your player avatars have been created. Also, all armors, including their jetpacks, have been visually improved. Propulsion effects have been revised as well, not only for the jetpacks. With version 1.9, some of the handheld weapons have got new models. Entirely new weapons have been added as well. All handheld weapons have been rebalanced. They now have a defined role with an associated firing behavior. Many of the weapon effects have been revised in the process. For example, the tool energy beams and the muzzle flashes. Sound effects have been improved as well. And their movement, for example when running, is now more realistic. For players looking for a challenge, we have added a completely new game start, Ashen. Use the feedback option in the PDA to help us improve it further. For players looking for help on a specific topic, we have two new additions. First of all, we have added additional help buttons in many device and service windows. Also, there are now direct help overlays in the player inventory for all important areas. In addition, there are some detail improvements, for example the new center bar and the loot overview. As always, there is more information about these and many other changes in the Empyrean forum. You can find a link in the video description below. The whole team at Allion Game Studios wishes you a lot of fun with Update 1.9. Galactic Survivalists, I'm Ida. Today I will show you some of the important new features in Update 1.8. Before I get to the changes at the game start, I'll take you on a little tour of some of the revamped playfields. Many planets were technically and visually revised for version 1.8. Some of them have been equipped with new decorations, like the Talon home planet Omicron. This also applies to one of the new starter moons, Akua. I recommend this starter moon for all players who are new to Empyrean. The new Robinson protocol keeps track of all your activities and gives you situational tips and hints whenever you do something for the first time. On Akua, you can now do quests for the farmers and plantation foremen. Each quest is related to a specific activity. You can always see the progress of your quests and what exactly you need to do for them in the PDA. While you are exploring the new worlds, you will also meet some new creatures. Some of the creatures can give you a good or bad status effect if you don't move away from them. There are also other important changes of visual and gameplay nature. For example, carbon is now a more important resource in the early game. Also, surface rocks have been reworked and turned into nicer and more recognizable models. Of course, these are only very few selected points. Many more, such as FPS optimization, new features for content creators and a lot more can be found in the detailed changelog. We from Elion Game Studios wish you a lot of fun and are looking forward to your feedback. Hello Galactic Survivalists, I'm Ida. And today I'll be taking you through what's new in Update 1.7. What you can see in the video at the moment are examples of the new decoration system which can be found on 3 distinctive demo planets in the game. More than 200 new assets have been added to build even more exciting planets in the future. Another visual update concerns the water. Water now shows a special visual effect when it is affected by forces such as thrusters or hover drives. The grass now also reacts to your movements and to pressure waves from vessels and other forces. Along with the addition of entirely new decorative elements and the upgrade to the water and grass effects, we have reworked the harvestable plants across the board with improved and high-quality new models. Another main point of this update is the improved wayfinding for AI creatures on terrain. The goal was primarily to avoid the huge zigzags of AI when moving around obstacles in certain circumstances. The fact that the AI position and movement are precisely controlled now at any speed allows some new behaviors to be created in the future. The third main element of the update intervenes directly in the gameplay. The system of status effects that defines diseases and their cures has been thoroughly revised. While the status effects themselves have been largely retained, their interactions have been newly coordinated. There is now also the possibility of using a medical item that is actually not suitable for a complete cure of the disease, in order to at least slow down the progression of this disease. For those who are less interested in a detailed background story and prefer to drive their mission forward, a skip button for dialogues has been added at numerous points. To ensure that nothing is lost when skipping, relevant summaries and entries on people and events are now unlocked contextually in the Journey Book tab of the PDA. In the Emperiopedia tab of the PDA, entries on locations and factions will now be unlocked while playing missions or while exploring. For keen explorers, collecting new entries becomes rewarding when you exchange the Explorer token you receive for epic rewards at a Galactic Information Network console in any of the trading stations. The satellite hacking gameplay has been improved for version 1.7 and expanded for more report variants and additional satellite types. You can try hacking satellites independently of other missions on your exploration tours. The reports you receive can be sold for good money at trading stations at the info hoarders. Numerous improvements have also been made to our Invader versus Defender scenario. This scenario is delivered with the game and can be played in single player as well as in multiplayer. For example, on our official servers. For single players of the default scenario who want to follow the game story, there is now the new Chapter 11 to play, Murky Christmas. Are you ready to save Christmas in Andromeda? In this version we have also worked on some gameplay convenience. For example, if you pick up your backpack again, all weapons and items automatically go back to the toolbar slots they were in before. If you have been desperately looking for a certain type of star in the galaxy to go on a mission, you can now search for it in the Search System function of the galaxy map. A new field for searching star types has been added to the Search Tool interface. In order to better illustrate how the galaxy around you is structured, there are now also name displays for entire regions visible on the galaxy map. The nebulae in the galaxy also received additional settings and new design options. There are also new settings for scenario creators in the block configuration. For example, for the new water effects. If the effects that water creates are too strong or not strong enough in your eyes, you can adjust them on the water blocks in the blocks configuration. Scenario builders can now create beam weapons and modify shields and material damage resistance parameters. In order to balance certain situations and constellations in your custom scenario with regard to the reputation system, different blocks and devices can now receive their own modifier, which determines, for example, how much reputation they take away from you when they are destroyed. Scenario creators can now also offer their players the option to unlock tech tree entries through a dialogue option. Last but not least, numerous bugs have also been fixed in the current update, which rank among the more than 300 problems fixed this year alone. Before we end this video, we have one more thing for you. A small gift that has been at the top of many players' wish lists for a very long time. Your player avatar can now crouch. With this I close the presentation of the update 1.7. Please note that all the changes and additions presented in this video are only a small selection of the things you can expect with the update. For more details on new game systems and configuration options, the full changelog, as well as important feedback and how to threads, visit the forum at empyreanonline.com. We hope you have fun with the new update 1.7. We are looking forward to your feedback. On behalf of everyone here at Elion Game Studios, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a peaceful holiday season.
Whatever you want, whatever it is.
What's up, Galactic Survivalists, and welcome back. We've just released Empyrean Alpha 12, so let's check out what's new and what has changed. Its major feature is the randomly generated galaxy. You're not limited to a confined playfield anymore. Instead, there's a vast galaxy to explore. It includes tons of different solar systems, gas giants, nebulae, and on top of that, some truly mysterious places. The whole galaxy will be visible from any point in space, so there isn't a static starfield background anymore. Every star you see represents a solar system you may visit. Only capital vessels are able to warp between systems within a range of 30 light years. Smaller vessels are only capable of in-system warp. Along with the Galaxy came lots of additional POIs and the Creel as a new faction together with pirates and traders. Another important change is how scanning works. You're now required to actively use your scanners in order to find resources and other points of interest. To help you keep track of your findings, the registry has been reorganized. It shows everything you discovered, like your own and alien structures as well as resources, and lets you set waypoints to these locations. New resources have been added as well: titanium, aluminum, platinum, and ice. You're able to generate water from ice, for example, and titanium is now used instead of sathium to craft hardened steel. Stations were improved and got the option to offer so-called station services. Approach to less than 300 meters and then click on the new Station Services tab. If you have enough cash, you may now restock your fuel, ammo or Pantexit without leaving your ship. They also offer repairs or a quick recharge of your vessel's shields. If warping between planets is too cumbersome for you, don't worry. Just build a teleporter network and quickly travel between ships, planets, and even solar systems. The last big feature of this update is the story mode. We've added a dialogue system, and the first 6 chapters of the story are now balanced and interconnected, which should provide you with several hours of story-driven gameplay. The tutorial has also been modified to properly integrate into the enhanced storyline. There are some minor additions as well, like the advanced core, which removes the CPU limit. It's not craftable and quite difficult to obtain. We've also rebalanced the stack size of many items, and sorting is now persistent per container. Furthermore, there's now a multiplayer scoreboard, a proximity alert log, and offline messages for the chat. Also, generators explode if you stress them too much. And last but not least, if you really want to test your survival skills, you now have the option to start your journey on a frozen rock in the middle of nowhere. Don't forget to check out the official forums for the complete changelog. Thanks for watching, happy survival, and see you on the next update. What's up, Galactic Survivalists, and welcome back. Empyrean Alpha 10 just released. Here's an overview of what's new. First of all, shields are ready. They create a protective layer around all of your vessel's blocks. Toggle your shield with the X key. Powering it up takes 10 seconds. You cannot warp or place new blocks while the shield is active, and after taking damage it will take 5 seconds until it begins to recharge. Shields are available for all vehicle classes Empyrean contains. Building also got improved a lot. We've added more than 100 blocks for you to experiment with. The block shape menu also got an overhaul and is now based on customizable tabs. Another noteworthy addition are the new heavy window shapes. They even include seamless ones for creating large windows with a clean look. There also are new devices. Along with new models for containers and antenna blocks came several new sizes of ramps and shutter doors. You're also able to build them on bases now. We've also created new variants of armored doors and updated the models of constructors, the deconstructor, power generators, fuel tanks, and many other devices. Just check your stuff in-game and you will discover new and upgraded models on every corner. Hit points for doors and ramps also got rebalanced. Gameplay-wise, base attacks changed a lot. Whether your base gets attacked or not now depends on your standing with each faction. The Cyrex also got some new tools which makes defending your base more unpredictable and diverse. They will, for example, cut your walls with a demolition tool, or if they can't reach your core, they will simply hack it from the outside. The underlying AI routines will get tweaked as we go, because pathfinding is very challenging in a game with fully dynamic structures. To try out the changes, choose New Game in the main menu and then select the default base attack scenario. It's like a tower defense style game mode where you're not required to craft items or gather resources. To keep you going, you will receive supply drops between each wave. Hover vessel controls got improved with the fixed mode. Press Shift-O to activate it. You will get very precise control over your vessel's rotation. This easily lets you mine straight tunnels. Also, pilot mode is now available. Press Shift-I to activate it. In short, it lets your ship follow your mouse cursor, which is decoupled from the center crosshair. We overhauled the drills as well. The handheld drill now works faster, which shortens your time gathering resources. You also don't need to switch between modes anymore. The drill mode mines rocks and deposits as well. In other news, you now have a combined texture and color tool at your disposal. There are separate chat rooms for multiplayer, for example, global, private, faction and server. And a new planet type was added called Lava Nascent. And last but not least, Alex expanded Empyrean's music theme with a couple of new tracks, like the one you're listening to right now in the background of this video. So that's it for today. Make sure to check out the official forums for the complete changelog and more information about how to use the new features, especially the shield system. Thanks for watching, happy survival, and see you on the next update. That was Ashray from Magnets and Miracles Gaming, signing off. What's up, Galactic Survivalists? Welcome to Empyrean Alpha 9. Let's get straight to the point. Empyrean now features an NPC faction and reputation system. The different factions now have their own territories and borders, as you can see on the map. Available right now are the Talon, the Polaris Company, the Cyrax, and a hostile alien faction. It replaces the Cyrax as the notorious bad guys. You can check your current standing in the player menu. Select one of the groups to see how to increase or decrease your reputation level. For example, hanging around on Cyrax territory slowly decreases your reputation. Blowing up their stuff accelerates the process, and retaliation will follow shortly. Also be aware of rivalries going on between each faction, so you might make friends and enemies at the same time as a consequence of your actions. Acquiring a certain RP level comes with benefits, such as for example being allowed to mine within foreign territory. The next big feature is logistics, which will make your daily survival routine a lot more convenient. First of all, there are modular containers. Build a container controller and place it. You can now attach container extensions in all kinds of shapes to it, thus extending your storage capacity as needed. Construction machines don't have their own inventories anymore, but allow you to attach all kinds of cargo containers. In this case, we select our new modular container as an input for the constructor. We could select another box as an output option for the finished product, but in this case we just use the same. If we now put some copper into our modular storage, it will be available to the constructor for processing. On top of that, we included Wi-Fi logistics. This feature enables you not to only freely move items between containers inside a base or vessel, but it also lets you link your player's inventory to a container. Here's how it works. Open the logistics menu with F4. Select a container to link and choose your player inventory on the other side. Now press the link button. This will activate the virtual toolbar, which serves as a steady link to the container. You can switch to your personal bar by pressing the T button. This is very nice for cooperative mining or for building because you don't have to carry around building blocks anymore. Also, everything you collect will be dropped directly into storage instead of your own inventory. A practical example would look like this. After a mining trip, you return to your base and transfer all of your ores to a single container. A bunch of furnaces automatically starts smelting the ore and deposits it into a second container. Several constructors are attached to container number 2, which allow you to craft multiple devices at once without having to move around materials manually. Logistics will get even more important once the volume system will be fully implemented and bigger machinery will not fit into the player's inventory anymore. Alpha 9 also comes with other additions and improvements. Enemies and friendly NPCs now have different levels which are displayed on your HUD. When firing a weapon, you now have to take recoil into account, and we integrated iron sights for you to make use of. Cruise mode, activated with Shift W, lets you fly in a straight line without having to hold down a key anymore. Just toggle off the auto brakes in space to get the same effect there. Your ship will now keep its position in mid-air even if you turn it upside down. And last but not least, there are some changes to the basic game modes. Along with the new mode selection menu comes the Freedom mode. It's like survival but with unlimited health, resources and no nutrition management. We also overhauled the game start, improved the tutorial and expanded the faction missions. So that's it for today. Make sure to check out the official forums for the complete changelog and more information about how to use the new features, especially the logistics system. Thanks for watching, happy survival. That was Ashray from Magnets and Miracles Gaming, signing off. What's up, Galactic Survivalists, and welcome back. Here's Alpha Update 8.6, which features a new planet among other additions. The new planet, classified as Temperate Swamp, is called Roggery and is part of the Akua Omicron scenario. It includes more than 20 new points of interest and several new terrain stamps. Retractable and wall-mountable sentry guns were added for both the alien and player factions. Actually, all turrets are retractable now, even the ones on HVs and bases. The Arid planet got an update too. We added the Epsilon radar main complex and auxiliary stations as a new POI. Take note, it only appears on non-starter Arid planets. As we speak of POIs, the CNU fuel station is another installation added for you to discover in 8.6. And in other news, the survival tool doesn't consume stamina anymore, and there's a static warp image instead of just a white screen now. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, happy survival, and see you on the next update. That was Ashray from Magnets and Miracles Gaming, signing off. What's up, Galactic Survivalists? Welcome to the Imperium 3rd Anniversary Alpha Update 8.5. Let's get straight to the point. A lot of exciting new stuff has been added. For example, the new hover thrusters. They are available at level 1 and combine standard thrusters with an RCS system. They are all you need for a completely maneuverable hover vessel. Also, most HV-related basic devices were moved down to level 3 and below, which enables you to build a basic HV very early. Now, here's a nice little early game hovercraft, but it still looks kinda dull. This is where the new color picker comes into play. It offers unlimited color options controlled via an RGB slider. You can also define your own color palettes. On top of that, lights and flares can now be configured to flash in a regular interval or act as spotlights. Turret targeting options got improved for better control of what or who to shoot automatically. Make sure to always select at least a faction and a target. In this case, we selected Prey and NPC for more comfortable hunting trips. Now, let's have a look at small and capital vessels. First of all, there are modular wings. Combine them in every way you like, then use the new pylons to seamlessly attach weapons and additional thrusters. Paint the wings the way you like. Furthermore, most thrusters and heavy windows are texturable now. Then there are retractable landing gears. No more ugly fixed gears on your marvelous ship designs. The new gears are available for both SVs and CVs and will automatically lower themselves on touchdown. And as we talk about marvelous ship designs and retractable stuff, turrets now come in two variants: fixed and retractable. NPC creatures were overhauled too. The pangolin replaces the triceratops, and some older models were replaced with better versions, like the arachnid, the otyugh, and the cave worm. Their behaviors have been updated and improved as well. We also like to introduce you to our first amphibious creature, the Telluropod. You'll encounter it in shallow water or close to it on temperate planets. And in other news, the Arid Start is now similar to Alpha 7, which means you get more equipment, but there's no Robinson Protocol. It will get an own story in a later update. More heavy window shapes like slants and edge connectors have been added, and more are planned. Speaking of building, plastic blocks are now available as a new building material. On top of that, you'll now be able to deconstruct redundant devices with a new deconstructor. It will work at 80% efficiency and break down your unused stuff into its components. The HUD has been updated with your target's name and a health bar. Also, quick pickup with Shift F works with drone wreckages and other NPCs now. Status effects now have a timer which shows the remaining time until things will get worse. Thanks to our community who added 2 new prefabs, a Tier 1 base and a Tier 3 SW. New blueprints also include 2 new starter hover vessels you can craft without the need for RCS or additional thrusters. And last but not least, the detector device now also fits onto small vessels. It'll help you find interesting stuff on planets. So, that's it for today. Make sure to check out the official forums for the complete changelog and more information about how to use the new features, especially the deconstructor. Thanks for watching, happy survival, and see you on the next update. That was Ashray from Magnets and Miracles Gaming, signing off. What's up, Galactic Survivalists? Welcome to Empyrean Alpha Update 8.2. Let's get straight to the point. First of all, a new planet type called Desert has been added. It's real Tatooine style, while the old desert planet has been renamed to Arid. It has no breathable atmosphere and is now selectable as a more difficult random scenario. Homogeneous group settings were added to the control panel, which means you're able to set light colors or turret attack groups for multiple devices at once. Plant coffee to create natural stimulants. The big alien flower is also growable now. In addition, crop yield and crop type are now shown in the according tooltip. The current durability status of an item was also optimized to include maximum durability, and a new salvage icon was added. It will turn red if salvaging a block will return no materials. And because not everyone uses the metric system, you can now switch to Imperial measurement. Performance increased with a new distant structure loading system, which only loads structures within a certain area around the player. You'll need it because the playfield structure limit has been increased from 255 to over 65,000. And last but not least, the AI got some major improvements. Another feature might come in handy here. It now is possible to quickly pick up your backpack with Shift F. That was Ashray from Magnets and Miracles Gaming. Thanks for watching, happy survival, and see you on the next update. Signing off.
That you answered my calls, saying up I'm falling. maybe I'm weak, but it took half a year to get over you, over you. Or maybe I'm good at pretending that I moved on. I know that we got a lot of the same friends, and soon enough there come a weekend when we just not bring it up. Yeah, maybe I'm weak, but it's taking too long to get over you. Just like that, and we're not quite convinced that it won't end the same this time. Tell me, can people really get a fresh start? Should I be more careful with my heart? I'm treading carefully. Crazy how something can scar me slowly, but you fall right back. You again.
they make you like part controller. That's the only reason that we brought it with us. And we just don't use it very often. Like my wife will use it like sometimes at home, but most of the time we don't really use it too much. Not really.
Figured out how you can issue in this room, correct? I just gotta open the door. Does that work?
What's the bomb here?
Oh yeah, I guess you use the AC to cool down the entire room.
I literally have AC. It's supposed to be the entire room.
That was nice.
I mean, it's actually crazy that my computer heats up the room this fast. It's too much.
Bruce, you can say that your love loves it. From pastry just smiles as everyone's about to carry outside right now. None of my kids have really liked the carrier that much. That's a lot of the issue.
Okay, have it work better. Yeah, I do. If the door back here is closed. I definitely like the window space.
Won't you think about you and I? Just grab my hand and look me in the eye.
sure what the fuck. I don't think I even pull this off. That's all you know is this is.
Tell me lies like you mind crazy out of time cars, baby get us got high. So what, hey, no rush, hey, turn the lights out. Do you wanna level up? Baby, let me fill your cup before we out of here. Do you wanna take it slow? Just let me know. You tease me and you touch me.
This'll help.
I'm going crazy about it. Keep saying that it's nothing. So tell me what to do. Losing all my cool. Feeling like ain't nobody else around us. Ain't nobody else around us. I'm breaking all the rules. So many
I think I'm capable of killing that thing now because of the rages.
Something that you get to experience as a player of Resurgence is actually the moment where the first wave of agents are being activated, so that's something we get to play.
remaining. We need to locate a bomb.
Cable chào sức.
Fucking shit. The hell?
What the hell?
far.
Oh. Holy. Shit. Wow. Holy shit.
Đầu mắt của mình nó sẵn sàng ra. Yếu rồi, hay. Anh đi lắm mà. Đó. Lại. Lại lại. Lại. Trời ơi gì nữa ba, nó bắt tài rồi.
Hell. What the fuck? Hey! Hell! Shit.
một rồi. Một quá là ba. Ây. Bao giờ quay ra xong rồi bị
Holy shit.
to ba.
Or die. I came here alone, before the others. I harvested the resources I needed to carve out a life, to craft a future, to endure the unknown. The journey was long. I explored new frontiers, discovered new planets, and new threats. But you cannot survive alone. So together, we built anew. Our talents are deep. The technology at our disposal evolves, but with expansion comes conflict. And the cost of failure is catastrophic.
Risk it all. But you're playing my game now. And I'm here to clean house.
Rainbow Six Ejects get free access now.
Epsilon! Do we have eyes on Dokkaebi?
No word from the other team. Hold your position, Oscar team.